What's good, BitRushers? My name's Kyler, and this is BitRush Crypto. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about having a strategy to continue to make money and, more importantly, gain crypto in a bear trend or bear market. Currently, we are in a bear trend. I don't want to necessarily call it a bear market because it looks more or less like a correction from a little bit of too high of volatility. However, until we turn back around and Bitcoin and the rest of the market shows me otherwise, we are in a downward trend. And so there's several ways that we can continue to earn and continue to increase the size of our portfolio, not only in dollar value amount, but also in the amount of crypto that you hold. So if all that sounds good, you know what to do. Pound on that thumbs up button. Find links below for my investment platforms and my social media links. Join the Telegram chat if you want a little bit of extra access with me, and we have a great group in there as well. Subscribe if you're not already, and here we go. Okay, so just taking a look, we can see that pretty much everything is down. Everything's down for a while. Looks like it's been just red here all over. We have a couple green ones, but for the most part, guys, everything is red. And that's because the big daddy here, Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin kind of raises all ships with its high tide and kind of sinks some of the smaller ones with the low tide here. So, we got to take a look at Bitcoin and see what Bitcoin is doing. As I mentioned earlier in the intro, if we take a look at the chart, let me just come over here to a 1 day. So on the 1 day chart here, we can see what happened, guys. We peaked out up top right around, really we had two kind of tops. We had this initial top here right around January 9th, it looks like, and that was the first top on the MACD. The second top on the MACD here was February 21, and the price right there was only at about 55,000, okay? 55, and the first one was about $41,000. Then since that point, we were basically trending downward. So even though we went up, even though we hit an all-time high with price here in April at about $65,000, we were actually trending down since about the middle of February in terms of market sentiment. Now, it looks like we did kind of peak out here initially, right around that $26,000 level from that initial drop. However, we did not come back up, guys, right? So we came up and we just barely, barely came back here, guys, over 40,000. Even though it was a huge pump on the MACD. And again, just looking at it from my perspective here, it looks like we're going into another downward trend here. These lines are starting to spiral downward when they cross on the upward direction. When the blue line crosses over the orange line here going up, generally that means the market is going to move upward, and currently we just crossed back over on another downward trend. It doesn't mean it's going to last long. It could just be another little dip here. But again, guys, when we have those drops, it looks like big loss, right? Any sort of red here is always a big loss in terms of the price and in terms of percentage. So I am getting ready and preparing for another small crash here. It might not be as big as the last one in terms of how much is actually sold off, but price wise we could come down and retest those levels everyone's talking about, $23,000, $24,000. If you're like me, this is probably freaking you out and you're thinking, what am I going to do? So there's several things that we can do to continue to earn money even in a bear market, even while the market crashes. The first thing is, if you believe that the value is not going to continue to go up, you can sell off all of your assets at whatever level you're at and then buy back in once they hit what you believe to be the new bottom. However, timing the market is tricky and definitely not recommended for beginners. The smarter thing to do, as we always mention on this channel, is to dollar cost average in. That means if you have any sort of capital that you can deploy, to deploy it in small amounts over the next couple weeks or months. So, let's just say you had $1,000, and that's a nice easy number. So you guys can multiply that by 10 or 2 or 3 or divide it by half or whatever you need to do to get the amount that you need. But let's say you had about $1,000 and you want to invest over the next 10 weeks. You could put $100 in over the next 10 weeks, buying in and averaging into that position as the market continues to drop, hopefully getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper prices. So the way that the dollar cost average works is as the market's dropping, it's averaging your position down. So you're lowering the average cost that you paid. So hopefully when the market does return, you're now in a much lower average cost on your crypto, and thus making more per coin. Another thing we can do that's kind of like a dollar cost average scenario is staking or locking up your coins in a yield farming platform. I only recommend doing this on, high market cap coins. So, anything I would say in the top 25 to, at least 50 maybe. Nothing below 50 I don't think I would be locking up right now. If you already have positions and you're already staking them, it's up to you if you want to keep them and just continue to ride it out. As I mentioned, with a lot of these altcoins, it might be better off just selling them off and buying in at a much lower cost. And you might be able to get more that way than actually staking them. However, with the higher market cap coins, I think you're better off just kind of keeping them if that's what your plan was when you started the staking, was you're looking at a 2 to 5 year plan or at least a 6-month plan or whatever it was that your plan is. I kind of think sticking to your plan is smart, because even though we are in a little bit of a bear trend here, guys, I think overall we're not done. I really think that even if we drop down again lower and we retest these areas, that's just going to be the signal for us to then push back up. And it could take us a while to get back up here, but eventually the way Bitcoin works, it's built into, the algorithm of the halving automatically reduces the amount by half every 4 years that's created by miners. So these miners are still mining. They still want to make a profit. They're not going to sell off their coins for less than what the value is. And with the inflation we've seen here in the market, I think that adds a little bit of pressure to miners to continue to hold and sell off at higher prices. So as always, not financial advice, guys, on this channel. Always do your own due diligence, always do your own research, and never invest more money than you can personally afford to lose. However, for me, I do believe some of these top cap coins are worth staking. And just as an example, you could put your Ethereum into Ethereum 2 on Coinbase. I have a video about that. If you guys want, you can watch that. You could also stake your Cardano, and I have a video on that. If you guys want, you can find that in the description below and should be popping up above now. You can also stake your Polkadot, and right now you need a good number of Polkadot to actually get locked up, because at this point a lot of people are in on Polkadot, and so to get your funds bonded in, without using like a third-party app or something like that, you do need a good number of Polkadot. So if you have a large number of Polkadot and you would like to stake, I have another video showing you guys how to do that, and that should be popping up in the top right hand corner and also linked in the description. It's the same thing here coming down to Solana. I have another video about this one and how you guys can stake that one. So if you're interested in that, again, linked in the description and popping up in the top right hand corner. And coming down again, this will be the last one that I cover, but I have a lot of coins, guys. Actually, Tron, if you want, I have a video on. I'll link that one. But Polygon, and if you guys want, just search the staking playlist on my channel, and you guys will find all of these anyway. But Polygon Matic, I have a nice video showing you guys how you can kind of maximize yield on the Matic platform. You get it two ways. You can put up some of your crypto as collateral. It can even be USDC or DAI or another stable coin, and then borrow another stable coin against that, and you're going to earn on what you're borrowing as well. And then you can restake that if you want and earn again, and continue to do that process only on stables, and you never put yourself at risk. However, I am doing a little bit with some of the Matic and Ethereum on there, and you guys find that in that video, so go ahead and watch that now if you'd like. And finally, guys, the last way that we're going to earn money here is going to be trading. Okay, so the one thing I want to talk about trading is that if you're not an experienced trader, you definitely don't want to trade on leverage. You can still trade with some of these platforms on, like, a 1x leverage or 1.5x leverage and something very minimum where you're not putting yourself at risk. And if you guys are interested in learning how to trade on Bybit, I do have a basic overview tutorial that should be popping up above now, and you can find a link in the description below to get you several $1,000s worth of bonuses for signing up using my link. And what I want to talk about is why I got liquidated last time. I know I told you guys kind of the how is that, I bought in, I kept buying in as the price was dropping here. And basically I just thought, it can't go any lower, it can't go any lower, it can't go any lower. So that's how I kind of got liquidated on my trade, but it wasn't the why. I thought about it, I did a lot of thinking, I didn't trade for a little while, I spent some time to really figure out what my lesson here was. And it did take me a little while, but I finally came to the conclusion is the reason I got liquidated on this wasn't, because of any of that. It was because I didn't stick to my plan. So I have plans the way that I trade. I'm a upward momentum trader, or a momentum trader, whether you're trading up on a long or down on a short. I usually look for confirmation on the upward momentum or the downward momentum, and I didn't do this in this case. I just looked at the price and I said there's no way it can go lower, there's no way it can go lower, and I kept buying until I got liquidated. And because I wasn't buying using my trading method, right, I was buying just on sheer emotion that the price was so low and I needed to get in. I didn't want to miss this long, and ended up costing me my entire account at that time, guys. So the one thing I just want to stress is if you're trading, we can do shorts and trade even in the bear market and continue to accumulate coins, or we can trade on a USD pair and trade, just keeping our USD value so we're not losing on the value of those coins going down. That's completely up to you. You can do either one over on Bybit. Again, after this video, that video should be popping up and you guys can go watch that. I am currently in a little bit of a trade here. I'm not going to be, showing my trades anymore on the channel, but I have a strategy and I'm sticking to my strategy. And if you guys want to know what my strategy is, I have another video called 3 Fire Trading Signals, and that video basically explains how I trade. I cover the upward momentum, how I look for confirmation on the MACD and on the RSI. And once I have, several confirmations, then and only then, guys, do I make a trade. So as long as you're sticking to what your plan is, 90% of the time you're going to win. When you start getting emotional, that's when you lose. So if this thing is going to continue to crash, I'm going to open a short and I'm going to make money while the market goes down. It doesn't matter to me whether the market goes up or down. Obviously, as an investor, I want the market to go up because I do still hold a good number of coins. I am staking a good number of coins. I'm still dollar cost averaging into a few coins. And so, my overall sentiment, my overall feelings on the market is, in the long run, guys, on the macro, Bitcoin's going up. It's going to hit 100K. It's going to hit 150K. It's going to hit 200K. It's just going to happen here soon, and eventually, even within the next 5 years, it will probably go over $1 million. So that's why I'm staking, that's why I'm dollar cost averaging, that's why I am holding a few bags of some stronger altcoins. But even so, I realize I'm losing value, and I'm going to continue to make money, whether it's shorting or whether it's longing the comeback bounce here, the short squeeze that we see. Either way, as long as you're sticking to your plan and you have a plan that works, you should be able to make money. I started my millionaire account, with basically like $50. Really, it was $1,000, but basically it was $50, and it just shows you guys, the power of, leverage trading and what you can do if you put your mind to it, if you have a system and you grind. I got a little bit too cocky on it, and I spread out all my funds into a bunch of different altcoins, and so I did lose a good value on that, but I'm going to continue to make it back even if the market crashes. As I said, I'm going to continue to short the market. We'll put in some 5x, 10x, 20x leverage trades. I might show you guys the trades after. I'm no longer going to trade live. I'm no longer talking about what trades I'm in, but I am going to continue to grind behind the scenes, and I'm going to grow my account whether the market goes up or down. So again, guys, have a plan, stick to it. The number one thing that you need to be a successful investor is a plan. I hope you guys enjoyed the content today. If so, please do smash a thumbs up on it. Share it on social media. Share it with a friend or family member. Make sure you're subbed to my channel. Members only gets you a few extra perks. Happy crypto, and let's get that coin.